so that it appears on screen. Yeah, I hope everyone's well. Really looking forward to today's show. Today, genuinely, I think is going to be a really interesting show because today we've actually got a very different match happening. This is where we're going to be seeing that gauntlet match. This is where we're going to see the two teams, Performance Center team and WWE ID team, and we're going to get the two teams in a gauntlet match, and we're going to kind of do a bit of an elimination style thing. I'm looking forward to that because I think that you can really do some feuds and really sort out some feuds that way. And I'm quite interested to see it play out in Evolve. We've kind of spoken about, could we use it at Survivor Series, all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's maybe exciting enough or going to be exciting enough for Survivor Series. It might be. I don't know. That's why I want to see it and see it in action. But I really like the idea of there being two teams and we're going to figure out which is the best team by doing this gauntlet-style match. So I'm really down for it. I can't wait to see how it plays out. So, yeah, we've got that tonight. I don't know if there's anything else because, of course, that's going to take some time. I mean, gauntlet matches take a lot of time. So I'm thinking that it's going to be just that. But let's go over to Robert Stone. He normally puts a preview up, doesn't he? So if we can go... Yeah, there we go. If we can go over to Robert Stone, then we'll see what he's got to say. Let's switch over. And let's go over to here. Bang, bang, bang. Can I go big screen? Yes, lovely. Let's go.
I'm Robert Stone.
And I'm Blake Howard.
And this is your weekly WWE Evolve 2B teaser. And Blake, tonight we got Evolve Women's Champion Kendal Gray in the house.
Indeed, she is final Evolve of 2025, and it's going to be crazy. Talk about that women's division. Chantel Monroe one-on-one with Wendy Choo. That rivalry comes to a head, and Robert talking about rivalries. 5-on-5, a huge war's coming down.
I hate this music. Every single flipping week they put this music on. I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, so it's like... Okay, they're talking about the 5-on-5, and they're saying that Women's Champion Kendal Gray is going to address the Evolve universe. So I think it's probably just those two things that we're getting tonight. But this music, I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, and I don't really want to take the risk, to be honest. Well, there we go. We'll have to wait and see. I think we're probably looking at a gauntlet match. We're probably looking at Kendal Gray. I wonder if she's going to relinquish the championship. I mean, Kendal Gray addresses the Evolve universe. I mean, what is she going to say? What is she going to come out and say? She's clearly an NXT superstar now because she just won the, that match at Deadline. So she's clearly a NXT superstar. So this, I don't know. Do we say goodbye? I don't know. Although, here's a little thing that this was 4 hours ago. Let's check this out.
Fatal Influence likes to play number games. But let me tell you how Kendal Gray plays number games. Number 1, beat Laney at MSG. Number 2, tapped out Fallon tonight on NXT. And number 3 will be when I beat JC Jane at New Year's Evil and become your new NXT Women's Champion. 2 titles look good on me, don't you think?
Well, that would say to me she's got no intention of relinquishing. So, I really don't know what to expect from her segment. Interesting. Okay. We'll have to wait and see. Right. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's well. Let's move a couple of things around so that we can see what people are saying. Move this up here. So, yeah, Evolve. Looking forward to it. Right, let's boo that. If TKO is messing with the production team, that is going to spell disaster. If it ain't broke, don't effing break it, says William. Asib said, just make Survivor Series like a normal PLE like Mania SummerSlam. It doesn't need to be a gimmick-style event. Glockness said, I wonder why Evolve results don't get spoiled. Well, to be honest, I don't think enough people really care. I don't think there's enough people out there, like, sharing the results around because, I mean, the views internationally for Evolve, when it gets uploaded on a Thursday, are like 40,000 views. I mean, it's really, inconsequential. The amount of people that watch on Tubi, never seen a published number on that, but I would imagine it's very, very small. So I think there's a lack of interest. But as well as that, I think, people are probably also aware that, they probably get told, like, this is a taped event. Please don't post, spoilers. Clearly phones are banned as well because you never see people in that Evolve crowd taking pictures. No, I mean, like, if you think of all the Raws and SmackDowns, people constantly getting their phones out, you never see that in Evolve. So it must be that there's an announcement about, no pictures, no videos. This is a tape show. Please don't share the information. And I think, honestly, people are happy to honor that. And I think that's right. Seeb said, Daze, surely Triple H saw the Austin Theory reveal leak online. Couldn't he have changed the Masked Man identity to give us a shock? Theory could have come in later, or we could have done a different storyline. Well, to be honest with you, there's a couple of schools of thought. Hello, Seeb. There's a couple of schools of thought. The first one there would be, yeah, you could do that. But the other thing is that if you've got a plan of Theory joining the Vision and you don't really have a plan for anyone else to join the Vision, then you wouldn't want to just change your whole creative because something leaked. You're going to get leaks. The makeup lady's going to talk. The catering guy's going to talk. The guy that sets the ring up's going to talk. Some security guard backstage is going to overhear something. Like, there's, wrestlers are going to talk. Listen, don't say I told you, but I heard this, yeah? So leaks are always going to be very difficult to prevent. Austin Theory knows he's going to be the Masked Man, and if he knows, then I'm sure other people are going to find out, and other people are going to know, and it's very hard to keep that stuff quiet. Plus, also, word came out as to who the Masked Man actually was at Survivor Series. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to have Austin Theory be the masked person at Survivor Series. If we'd have used an NXT talent, we could have used an NXT talent that was a similar size and got them to Survivor Series, got them to be the masked person. And then what would have leaked would have been, did you know the masked person was Shiloh Hill? And people are like, Shiloh Hill? But, we only used him because he had a similar size or whatever. So, yeah, it did leak, but I don't think WWE want to change all their creative plans just because that information had leaked out. And I think, Theory is a good person to be in this group. I like the direction of it going that way. I think, it just comes back to spoilers, doesn't it? The other point I wanted to make was it leaked to us in the IWC, the people that engage in it. But think of all the kids and think of all the adults that, just watch wrestling and they don't really care about following the news that closely. They're not going to have heard that news. There'll be a lot of people out there that, aren't the smart fans. They're not the fans that are switched on, the casuals, more casual. But that's doing them a disservice, really, because, to be honest with you, I don't class myself ever as being a casual, but I was not engaging with the IWC for a long, long time. Wrestling was something I kept up with, but so was music, and so was movie releases, and so was the latest TV shows, and, wrestling was just something I consumed along with a lot of other things. And so I was not going out of my way to read spoilers and rumors and stuff like that. I didn't even think to do that. I just watched the shows when they happened, and that was good enough for me. I would not have, or chances are, unless, I accidentally stumbled across them online, but I would not have heard that Theory was the person back in the day. So I think there'd be a lot of people that would not have heard that news. And so, do you change your plans just because the hardcore switched on fans will have read about it? So that's the kind of thing you have to weigh up. So I think it's right not to drag it out personally, because, for me, we obviously found out, didn't we, that this was going to happen. So there was no mystery for us. And I'm quite glad that it's done now and we can just move on. There's no word of a second mystery person. There's no word of them having a second person at this stage. So I think it's done, and I think that's it. But, yeah. It's a good thing that Blake Botch was in developmental, not the main roster. We expect developmental not to be perfect, says Corey. I think the Blake Botch is really interesting. James, thank you. Yeah, I've actually got the chat on one screen, the cricket on the other. I saw they just got that last wicket. Blooming took them longer enough this morning, didn't they? Probably gave away at least 20 runs we shouldn't have this morning, but, I mean, that's England, isn't it? They better deliver with the bat now. They had better deliver with the bat. This has got to be 450 at least. But anyway, in regards to the botch, I think the botch is really interesting because I don't really see it as being anyone's fault particularly. I think you could say that the ref's count might be a touch quick, right? So he might be able to slow it down to just give, it's like 1, 2, 3. He might be able to go 1, 2, just slow it a touch. The other thing as well is that people are forensically going frame by frame to see if the shoulder was off the mat. I mean, a referee in live play-by-play can't do that. So I think if you're going to get your shoulder up, you got to get your shoulder up. She doesn't. So it's one of those where I think it's harsh to blame the ref. I don't blame the ref. For me personally, the big takeaway is I just love the fact the ref counted the 3. That is the thing that is my headline. I love the fact the 3 was counted. I love, because he could have swiped, and I'm so pleased that he didn't. And I really hope that's something people support because, wrestling, obviously we want it to be believable so we get, drawn into the drama of it. And for me, if ever there's a moment where the ref swipes and it looks rubbish, it kind of takes me out of the match. Then all of a sudden we're like, well, the match should have ended there. Why didn't he count the 3? He should have counted the 3. I think the shoulder, and all of a sudden it just takes me out. So I love the fact that he counted the 3. And I suppose my concern is that if there's a big hoo-ha over this, we go back to swiping again. And I really don't want that. So for me, I think the ref was in the best position. He was looking at the shoulders. If people want to forensically, frame by frame, look to see if the shoulder moved or, was starting to come up or something. I mean, for me, it was not up enough. Or I don't even know if it was up at all. But it was not up enough. But then a lot of people are saying that she might have been pinned down. And she might not have been able to have actually got her shoulder up anyway because Thea was on top of her. And actually, she might have been pinned. You kind of have that with the referee counting maybe a little quickly, like 1, 2, and before Blake knows it, if she tries to get a shoulder up, it's not going up. Before she knows it, it's a 3. It's one of those that I just think it's really hard to put the blame on anyone. It's a botch. And, I think all of them can be maybe told, okay, Thea, if you are going to pin someone's shoulders, don't really hold the shoulders down. Blake has got to have the ability to get them up. Blake, doing a little sort of movement ain't going to be enough. The ref needs to see you get that shoulder up. So, Blake, you need to get your shoulder up. Thea, you need to make sure you're not really pinning it down, preventing the shoulder from actually getting up. And the ref maybe slow your count down. And if there is anything that is 50-50, if there is just even a chance that the ref can say, no, the shoulder came up, and on a replay it will look 50-50. Well, if you know it's not the finish, then say the shoulder got up. If you're the referee and you know that this is not the finish, and there is any excuse for you to not count the 3, that on replay is going to be 50-50, but, you don't lose credibility, well, then, of course, you go with it. I mean, if he had counted 2 and then on the 3 pointed at the shoulder, is there enough movement there for it on replay to have looked plausible? I mean, I think that's debatable, honestly. I think it's debatable. I think it's a real grey area on that. It does not look clear to me, and I've gone super slow-mo on it. There's people that passionately say the shoulder was up. There's people that are passionately saying that Thea was pinning them down. There's people that are saying that Blake's messed up by not getting the shoulder up. I'm in a really weird position where I actually get sent lots of people's opinions. And it's so funny to get so many different opinions that are, it's like, I've had people going, the ref should be fired, right? But then I've also had people saying, I can't believe Blake didn't get a shoulder up. And it's so funny how everyone is so adamant they can see what has happened, but yet I get sent different views. And it's just, I'm in a weird position where so the end result for me is that I think I wouldn't say it's clean cut. I would say that it's, everyone can have a little bit of a talking to make sure it doesn't happen again next time. I really like the moment though, and I put a smile on my face. I think it's really fun, but the big takeaway for me is don't swipe. I would much rather have someone win that wasn't meant to. And actually go down this road now, which is kind of fun. I mean, I think we all enjoy when something happens that wasn't meant to. So we're kind of going down a road we know we shouldn't be. And it's put a smile on my face. And so, yeah, I'm kind of looking, I'd rather do that than the ref swipe. So that's my view on it. That's my view on the ref thing. It's one of those, these kind of things are going to happen. It's just, how do you deal with it? Before we would have swiped, and yeah, I'm pleased it's not that. So, Corey, shout out to you. Who was the mystery man, says Michael. The mystery man was revealed to be Austin Theory. Daze, how are you today, says little bit of a fan. I'm good, thank you. I've done like a really fun member stream, which I really enjoyed. Big thank you to Bones. Big thank you to Aaron. We just did a Wrestle Feud where we did the answers to those questions. And it was good. Enjoyed it. And obviously now we're doing this. Got to work on Unseen. I still need to get a game sorted for tomorrow. Still need to get my head around on Friday. I sort of feel like, just like, I still haven't set up the AAA stream. I sort of feel like there's not loads to do before Christmas. There's like, it's pretty busy Friday, Saturday. I think by the time I get to Sunday, it'll be like, that kind of feels like not the year done, but I think Sunday is pretty much the year done then, innit? We're not quite there yet. We've still got Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, which I think what I'm going to do is set up a normal SmackDown stream. And then the second SmackDown ends, I will switch the stream over, the graphics, and switch everything over to Jake Paul, Anthony. Because I don't think the fight would have started by that point. I think if I set it all up as Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, and then I sit here talking about SmackDown, the chat is just going to be a nightmare. There's going to be so many people complaining about I don't care about WWE, where's the fights? That's going to be a pain in it. If I do it as SmackDown, then at least, it'll be a wrestling crowd that join us. And then just switch over to, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul. That's probably not the best solution for views. That's probably not the best way of getting people to, join us. But honestly, it's just a nightmare, innit? It's a nightmare because they're doing this at the same time as SmackDown. I think the fight starts just after, though, so it does just sort of miss. But, frustrating. Let's go down. Daze, I think Thea is a bit to blame, said Asib. In my opinion, I think she did pin Blake a bit too hard. She didn't really give her room to lift the shoulder. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. I mean, honestly, I think if you want to blame the ref because you think the ref didn't, should have given the benefit of the doubt, or maybe you've gone frame by frame and you think the shoulder is slightly moving, right, or something. Okay, yeah. I mean, what I would say is you can like say the ref should have like counted slower, or should have, given the benefit of the doubt or something like that. That's fine, right? That's fine. I mean, the only thing I would say is, can we also applaud the fact he counted the 3? I mean, I really do love the fact the 3 was counted. In regards to Thea, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think she's on top of her. I think those shoulders are down. I think she does make it a little bit tricky for Blake to get the shoulder up. But if you're Blake as well, I think like that's your job. I mean, your job is you got to kick out, right? So, I mean, however you want to really exaggerate the kick out, you know? I mean, if you think that you're just going to get to 2.9 and do that, I mean, what happens if you get to 2.9 and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? This is the problem, innit? You get to like 2.9 and you're like, oh, actually, no, I'm pinned. Oh, my title's gone. So it is really interesting. I mean, I think wrestlers leave it too late anyway, to be honest, because if you go 1, 2, kick out, I mean, it doesn't really make any difference doing that compared to 1, 2, kick out, you know, where you're just about to hit 3. Like, it's not even a second, is it? It's like kicking out at 2.1 or kicking out at 2.9. It's not even a second's difference. My brain doesn't really register it as like being any kind of difference. Like, in my mind, 1, 2, kick out, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. That's like, what, 2.4, 2.3? But wrestlers have left it later and later now. I don't know if there's a little competition where they try and leave it like the last minute, last millisecond. 1, 2, kick out. And it's like, 2.9. I do think they leave it a little bit too late. There is just no room for error. I'll tell you the other problem as well. And I've never thought about this, right? And that is if you're a ref and you go 1, 2, it's really hard to stop your hand like at 2.9. 2.9 means you might be that close to the mat. Do you know what I mean? 1, 2. Really hard to not hit on the 3 if you're going to leave it so close. I've never really the workings of that, the dynamics, the mechanics, I've never really thought about. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, it's funny. As I said, it's really funny. I've had people saying that the ref's to blame, that Thea's to blame, that Blake's to blame. Maybe there's a little bit of all of them. Yeah. Maybe it is one more than another, but I don't know. As botches go, it's a pretty fun one. It's one of my favourites this year. David said, I would use the Thea botch to get Blake to the main roster. Have her refuse to work in NXT. Act like a free agent for a few weeks between SmackDown and eventually sign with Raw. Well, do you know, it's so interesting because I sort of feel like if something happens that no one expected, and no one expected this, it forces you into a reality we are in a different reality now. We are in a different reality. We are in a world where Thea Hale is the current mid-card women's champion, and this is not a reality we were expecting to be in, right? So I kind of like that. I kind of like experiencing something I wasn't meant to experience, right? As long as it's like positive, of course. So I said during Unseen, I was like, I think it'd be a real shame if we now just reverse it. I mean, I don't know about you, but that just strikes me as the most boring option on the table. We just revert back to where we should have been. Like, yeah, we shouldn't have done that. We'll go back. That's really dull. That's really boring. Like, I don't like that at all, right? So for me, I'm really looking for this to be something that we embrace, actually. I'm really interested to know, okay, we're in a different reality, one we didn't expect. What can you come up with? What are you going to do? If I was Shorten, I would actually say, I don't want to reverse back to Blake now. I want Thea as champion. I want you to embrace the frustration that Blake is going to be feeling. And I want you to embrace the fact that we've got a champion that feels a bit vulnerable. I mean, it is I think I just saw someone mention Maxine. It is kind of like Maxine-esque, but this obviously, well, in my opinion, a lot more palatable because this one we've done and we wasn't meant to do it, right? So we know this was not intended. So there's a bit more goodwill around this one because it's a happy accident. So let's embrace it rather than just reverse it. And where do we end up? So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they come up with. But I am just a bit, concerned, or not concerned, but I think there's a really good chance they just literally go back to doing what they were going to. It wouldn't shock me if we do a rematch and Blake wins it back, Boring. Henno, shout out to you. Henno, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate it. I like your profile picture, by the way. Looks really good. Vibrant. So shout out to you, my friends. Henno. Perhaps it's that, or Henno. And King, shout out to you, my friends. I think, has it changed your name? Yeah, King Notorious. Oh, it's gone with the at thing, hasn't it? And it's still not changed back. Adam, I know you as Adam. So you can call yourself King Notorious all you want, my friend. You'll forever be Adam to me. So King Notorious, thank you, my friends. You know where that money's going. It's going to my chair fund. I am definitely getting a chair at the start of next year. I have now actually, and I've not, made this up. I have now actually got bolts falling out of the chair. There are actually now screws and things that I'm finding on the floor, and bits of the arm, just coming off as well. It is cooked. It is absolutely cooked. So my number one priority is to flipping save my posture. My posture is atrocious, and I'm definitely ordering a new chair. So it's going to that, my friend. I really appreciate it. If the way things are going, I'll just be sat on the floor in about 3 weeks' time. So, King Notorious, yeah. I really appreciate it, but I hope you have a very, very good Christmas. I hope you all have a really good Christmas. James said, no one died. It's just a funny F-up. Yeah, I agree, but I agree. I genuinely enjoyed it. Seb said, did you see Ariel going off on why he should stick going off? This is why he should stick to UFC. He said Gunther was the wrong guy. Losing your last match, an old tradition, not a modern day tradition. Cena shouldn't have tapped. Well, I haven't watched the video, no. I haven't watched it. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. I mean, you lot, I can tell you, in the community, there are people that say Cena was wrong to lose. There's people saying that he was wrong to tap. There's people saying Gunther was not the right opponent. I think the truth is with wrestling, and I find this again and again and again, and I am trying to get better at... not dealing, that's not the right word, but I'm trying to get better at allowing, I suppose, opinions to have a forum, because I think rather than me just constantly banging on about my opinion, right, I think it's better that I just do that in the breakdown video, share my thoughts there about whatever's happened on the shows, and then obviously the opinions videos are for you guys, and then it gives us an interesting space here where I don't really know what we do, you know? I always think, like, I know how I feel about the finish, yeah? And if I was to join this watch-along, I wouldn't want to keep hearing someone expressing a completely different opinion to me. I would find that very frustrating, right? And so I'm trying to bear that in mind. So, yeah, I don't know. It makes it a little bit tricky, to be honest. I mean, obviously, we have to have conversations. And by having conversations about things, we have to talk about it and share our opinions. But I am trying to make sure that I don't go, like, you know, OTT and trying to hammer just my thoughts across. So, I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is that in the community, in that one, there is lots of different opinion. And if that's Ariel Hawani's opinion, that's his opinion. I know where I stand on it, and I also know that I ain't going to change anyone's mind, nor do I really care to. So I'm fortunate I get to share my view, and that's in the breakdown video. So, and you guys get to share yours in the opinion video. You know, whatever the comments are, I read them, right? So your opinion will be read out. I've never skipped anyone's opinion. So you can get yours there. And obviously you can put them in the chat as well. I mean, even if I don't get to it, other people are going to see it. And it will get on screen. So it's you know, it's one of those that 2026, I am trying to bear that in mind because it's going to keep happening. It's always happened, and it's going to keep happening. There's going to be controversial things that have happened in next year that's going to divide opinion. And so how do we best approach those? How do we kind of have conversations around those without making people feel alienated? So, yeah, that's something that's kind of been on my mind, actually, since the Cena thing. But no, I didn't, actually. I didn't. Mayor Pete said it's terrible. If they thought of a good storyline for Blake, they should go with it. They should just push it out for a few weeks. Well, I mean, it depends, doesn't it? If it is a good story and it's something they really believe in and it's something that's a big deal, then, well, okay. Yeah. I mean, if it is a big deal that kind of is going to, you know, be a massive thing, then I get it. If it's not that big of a deal, if she was just going to, you know, defend it, whatever, or it was going to start a little feud and she was going to retain or whatever, I'd be really interested in going down a different road, honestly. I'd be really interested in going down a different road. I think it would be a real waste to just kind of throw this away. But if it is something really big, really important, then, yeah, you know, if it's something they've been working on for a long time, then I agree. Sean said, it's not WWE's fault that some leaked about Austin Theory as the masked man. They can't control everything. No, they can't control everything. It would be good if they could cut down some of those leaks, though. Did you see Blake's tweets in reaction to the pin? No. I mean, to be honest, I haven't really seen much today. I did the members stream, so I haven't seen really any reaction today. I mean, I'm guessing she's saying, blaming the ref, kind of doing a bit of a Becky thing. That would be my guess. Bishop said, I've always said the beautiful thing about professional wrestling is that everyone has their own opinion. Yeah, and you know, I really do agree with that as well. I do agree. I think this is why when you get ex-wrestlers saying wrestling fans shouldn't have an opinion, right? If you've not been in the ring, then you don't deserve to have a say. You know, I find that to be like one of the stupidest comments you can make, really. I sort of feel like, you know, we go to movies and we criticize movies, but we've never made a film, you know? People listen to albums and they say if they like the album or not, but, you know, they've never made an album. So, you know, the idea that you watch your favorite football player, and I mean, how many people go off about football players not being very good, or, you know, they shouldn't be in the starting lineup, but most people haven't played football. So the idea that if you're a wrestling fan, your opinion on wrestling is not valid because you've never been in a wrestling ring, like, I really push back on that. I really push back on that. And not just because I do this. I would push back on that before I did this. You know, I had opinions about wrestling before I had a YouTube channel. And I wouldn't appreciate someone coming up to me saying my opinions weren't valid just because I hadn't actually been in a wrestling ring. So I do think that's not right. And, you know, I think that, you know, I agree. One of the good things about wrestling is that there's so much that people can have opinions about and have thoughts about. And there is such variety in the community. So, yeah, I agree. Power Hammer Cart said, do we think Wendy Choo should get a title shot and Evolve? Should WWE make Evolve tag champs? They should make Evolve tag champs. Should Wendy Choo get a title shot? I think that you could build her up to it. You could build her up to getting a title shot, right? You could build her up to getting a title shot, but I don't think she just gets one straight away. She seems to be a little bit lost at the moment. She's in a feud with, is it Chantel Monroe? So I think like you need a bit of work with her. But yeah, I think Wendy Choo's interesting. I think she needs to find the character that's going to move her forwards. Tian Sha was not it. Sleepy Wendy, like, as a babyface, her coming out and yawning and all of that felt different, but I don't know, man. For some reason, they just couldn't creatively find a way of moving it forwards. So then she became quite dark. And even that, I don't know why, they just couldn't find creatively a way of moving it forward. It sort of leaves her in a spot now where it's like, what do you want this girl to do? She's shown that she can really get her teeth into characters. I mean, she'd be great in the Wyatt Six, in my opinion, because she is so good at character work. You know, she can really portray a character, really get invested in a gimmick. She's the kind of person that can really carry the weight of a gimmick. So I sort of look at that and I'm like, well, do you want to just throw that away? If you've got someone that's so performative. I don't know. I sort of feel like if you just sort of make her like we do everyone else, like what are you into? What's your background? And you just sort of make her like another girl on the roster. Is that right? I don't know. I feel like with her, you got an opportunity to do something because she's very, very good at like the character side. But for some reason, they just can't find a character that they can find creative for. So tricky, to be honest. And she seems like lost in the show, and I feel like she's genuinely lost. So I don't know if she needs a title shot at the moment. I think what she needs is direction. I mean, at the moment, she's talking more and still coming out in a like onesie. She just feels very confused. If we can find the gimmick, get her some wins, find whatever's going to move her forwards, then we can start talking title shots and start talking about like getting some momentum. My hope is that they do know what she's going to transition into. They do know what she's going to move to, and we're just in the process of doing it, you know? But I don't know where that goes. I mean, I would be surprised if she keeps wearing what she's wearing and being presented as she's being presented. I've got to think there's going to be a change coming there. James said, your chair has become like the NXT parking lot. It's just an unsafe working environment. It's very true. Honestly, it's very, very true. You are right, James. Yeah. I mean, I don't need to keep going on about it, but it is slowly it is breaking me down. Robbie said, do we think Kendal gives up the championship? No, funny you should say that. When we started this stream, I did say that out loud, theorize that. But we did watch a video, actually, of Kendal, and she was saying, like, the 2 belts would look good on her. So that says to me she has no intention of forfeiting the 1 belt if she's already thinking about New Year's Evil and having 2 belts. So I don't know what her announcement is going to be. I'm interested to find out. Long Beach Hippie said, I killed this past week on my fantasy team. I got 178 points. Alan Cook Pitts Sr. really helped me. Long Beach Hippie, hello, buds. Hope you well. Rentfree said, do we think it's unfair that Mohammed Hassan lost his job in 2005 over something that had nothing to do with him? Could WWE not just keep him off TV for a while and change the character? I don't actually know the story of that. So I know the story of Mohammed Hassan, and I know that it was a bit of like a terrorist type gimmick. And then, of course, the attacks happened in London in 2005, and so the character gets axed, right? Why they didn't repackage him, I actually don't know. I don't actually think I've ever seen an interview from him where he's said as to why he didn't get repackaged. I understand why they killed the character. I mean, I think we can all agree that was correct. But yeah, I think you make a really good point. Why didn't they just take him off TV, bring him back and repackage him? The only thing I can think is that they viewed him as being someone perfect for that character. They viewed him as being someone that's like, right, this is how we want to use you. This is what we want. This is what we see you doing. Once that was gone, they didn't have anything else lined up for him. Like, there was no alternative. And so with the amount of talent they had on the roster at the time, it was just, yeah, no, it's not worked out, sorry. And that was that. That would be my guess. Is that fair? No, probably not. But that is WWE's right, isn't it? To kind of have a character that they want portrayed, bring someone in to portray it, and if they don't then have that character anymore, well, I'm really sorry it's not worked out. So that would be my thought process, is that they weren't really interested in him. They were more interested in that character being brought to life, and so he was the person that was, brought in to do that. The character went, and so he went. That would be my guess. So I suppose in a way it's a different way of doing it. Now it's not done that way. Now it's like we sign the person and then we find something for the person. Whereas I think that was maybe more an example where we had a character and the person played it, and when the character went, the person went. Daze, what do we think about Usyk Wilder signing for the world title in 2026? AJ Fury happening if AJ beats Jake, says Asib. Yeah, I'm not down on it. I mean, I don't think Wilder is a dangerous opponent for Usyk. He's dangerous with his knockout power, but I don't know, Wilder's on a hell of a losing skid, isn't he? You would like to think someone with the boxing skills of Usyk would be able to, if you take away the big right hand, there's not much else there from Wilder. So if you can just find a way of not getting... I mean, it's going to be interesting because Wilder, if he connects on Usyk, it could be lights out. It carries danger in that regard, just like how Wilder's fights do. But, I mean, we've seen time and time again now people get past Wilder and get a win over Wilder. He's really not been the same since the Fury fights. So I don't know that anyone's really looking at that and seeing it as a big problem for Usyk. But it's another name on the resume, isn't it? It's another former world champion on the resume. I mean, if Usyk wants another payday and he wants to keep going, I don't begrudge him stepping up and taking on Wilder. Really, in my mind, Usyk can do what he wants now. Do what you want, mate. I mean, you've gone past Joshua, you've gone past Fury, you've gone past Dubois. Moses Italma's too young. Looking at the rest of the heavyweight division, I think there are some calling for the Caballal fight, but it's not really like a fight that he has to have to, cement his legacy or anything. I mean, there's no fight there. So Wilder, a former world champ, yeah, fine, why not? I don't think he'll lose. Fine. AJ Fury, yeah. I expect AJ to get past Jake. The way I see that fight going on Friday is, I haven't really changed my mind on it. I don't think you get the knockout. If I'm a betting man, I think that Joshua's going to be all over Jake. He'll be throwing body shots and, Jake will be like defending up against the ropes. I think the ref comes in and calls it. I think it's going to be one of those where... it's going to be one of those, I really believe, where everyone is hoping for the knockout. And I feel like Jake is very clever. I don't think Jake goes into fights unless he's really kind of thought it through. And I think he'll have a strategy. And I think his strategy is don't get knocked out. That's first and foremost. Because he knows if he can make it past round 2. I mean, he might even say if he makes it past round 1 that's good. But if he can make it past round 2, that's when, things are looking really good. I think a lot of people are thinking Joshua wins round 1, but I think there's a chance Jake's on his bike, kind of backing up a little bit, keeping a bit of distance, circling away, frustrating Joshua. And I think that there's a chance that Jake does get past round 1 as a result. And then round 2, that's where, it's going to be hard to still be on your bike at that point. Crowd are going to be booing if Jake's just running. So, Jake is going to have to do every trick in the book, I think, to just get through those early rounds. I mean, even Jake himself is predicting that he's going to win by knockout, but round 5 or 6. So that means he isn't predicting he's going to knock out Joshua round 1 or 2. That means he's going to have to get through those rounds. And, he's probably going to get hit by Joshua. And, you know, he's probably going to have to eat some shots. The thing is, jabs from Joshua are one thing. If Joshua connects with a big shot, I mean, it could be lights out for Jake. Jake's got to avoid the big shots. He's not going to avoid being hit, but he's going to have to avoid the big shots. And I think, you know, his sparring is getting hit by Lawrence Okoli in sparring. He's going to know what it's like to be hit by a heavyweight. He's going to know what it feels like. It's not going to be like a wake-up call for him. I mean, he has got some big heavyweights training with him right now that are sparring with him. And I know sparring's not the same, but I think he has proven himself to be very clever when it comes to calculating what the right next move is. And a lot of people can't get their heads around this. But I think I understand. I think Jake knows that a win for him is surviving rounds and getting into the latter stage of the fight, right? And I think he also knows that if he gets into the latter stages, Joshua is going to be doubting, well, not doubting himself, but getting frustrated. You know, all of a sudden, you know, we're in round 3. We're in round 4. This is only an 8-round fight, and Jake's still there. Like, all of a sudden, the pressure builds and builds and builds on Joshua the longer this goes. And I got to tell you, I mean, 3 minutes ain't long, is it? Certainly if your opponent's running away. So if Jake takes it into round 3, round 4, you know, the pressure builds on Joshua. And, you know, Jake just has to avoid the big shots. He's just got to avoid the big shots. If it goes to the judges and he loses, that's a win for Jake. So he's got to just avoid the big shots. So what I think Jake's going to do is he's going to be on his bike a lot. He's going to throw out like jabs and he's going to, you know, throw his big shots himself. And he's just going to do whatever he can to avoid the big right hands. He'll eat the jabs and he'll, you know, try and stay at range, whatever. He'll be on the back foot a lot. He'll try and get out the way. He'll be moving around all the time. And it's just avoid the big shots. Can you do that for 8 rounds? If you can, you'll probably lose on points, but that is still a win. Even if the fight gets stopped in round 5 or 6, people are still going to be like, fair play. He survived 5 rounds with Anthony Joshua. He survived 6 rounds without Anthony Joshua. He's got to avoid getting knocked out. And it's easier said than done, but that is what he's training for, is to avoid getting knocked out. And I think that the way I see it going is that I think it'll get through the first round. Not sure about the second, but I can see Joshua throwing in shots to Jake at close range, referee coming in and calling it. And I think you get robbed of that knockout moment. I don't think you see it. I think Jake is going to do everything in his power to avoid getting hit with a big, big shot. And I think it's probably more likely that he's getting swarmed and the ref comes in and just calls it. And it's Joshua wins by TKO. And, you know, they interview Jake after. And he's like, you know, I'm just so proud of myself. I took this fight on like late notice. You know, I was able to go in there, show off a few skills. He couldn't hit me with the big right hand. You know, we got past that first round. You know, it might be a loss, but I won't look back on this experience as that. You know, this is going to do big numbers. And yeah, you know, we're kind of back on track after Gervonta Davis fight fell through. We'll be back on track in 2026. We've got some big stuff lined up. So you don't get that satisfying knockout moment. He gets to do the interview after. Joshua gets the win. People will have tuned in. Loads of people are probably like, that wasn't what I was looking for. And blah, 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 blah. So something along those lines, I think, is what I could see happening. Paul Carpenter said Crawford retired. That's a good thing for him, but it's bad for boxing fans. Yeah, fair play to him. I mean, honestly, what he achieved was absolutely incredible. That's victory over Canelo. I genuinely didn't think he'd be able to do it moving up that many weights. There's not many things that I've been off with boxing, actually. I'm not saying I'm some sort of like amazing boxing expert, but you know, there's quite a few times that you can sort of see where a fight's going to go or how it's going to play out. And with that one, I really thought that it would be a tough night at the office for Canelo, but I thought the size was too much. I mean, to move up that many weight classes just what a fun. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen. What Terence Crawford did against Canelo is just absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So, yeah, nothing but respect for what he was able to achieve. And it is a real shame that it came so late in his career and he's now stepped away. Taker 1990 said, Daze, knowing Blake was meant to retain, would you book her to be champ again? Well, no, I wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, Mayor Pete said about, if they've got some big plans, then you might want to go back to that. And I agree with that. But first and foremost, no, I really like us going down this path. I think you've got an opportunity to actually bring some credibility to Thea Hale right now. And I think that's interesting because, she wasn't meant to win this and everyone knows that, but she's got it now. So now the vultures are going to be circling around her. And so now it's a case of, can she keep it? What is she going to do? And don't forget, she has got that Kimura, which has been very effective for her. So, if she can get in a position where she can get the Kimura in, she could pick up a victory. So, yeah, I sort of feel like Blake, for me, I feel like we're at a point where we might be losing a lot of the top women soon. Yeah, I feel like they're probably going to get called up in early 2026. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost JC Jane, for example, Sol Ruka, for example. Maybe a Jordan Grace. But I sort of look at Blake Monroe as someone that's going to be needed around that top title, not the middle title. So I sort of look at that and I'm like, well, if we are, and it's so hard to say, isn't it? Because I don't know where we're going. But if we are about to lose a lot of women, then having her available for the main title strikes me as positive. That's probably where she should be, around the top title. So, yeah, I don't know. I love the fact that we've gone into a different reality. I'll be very interested to see how they book it. Christopher said, Daze, HBK, Kane, Undertaker. Christopher, thank you. I could see outcomes, Jake. Joshua pretty much stands there. No selling, Jake. Clears his nostril. Jake jukes and jives. Joshua farts. Whips it in Jake's face. Joshua smiles. Jake gets KO'd. KO'd with a fart? Wow. KO'd with a fart. Right, where are we? We've got 4 minutes. So this week's episode should be up. Don't forget, we have got a gauntlet match. There she is. Literally. Kendal Gray in the ring. We'll get going with the episode very, very soon. Jeremiah Johnson, I think, is like a Western film that I've never seen. I haven't watched many Western films, actually, but Jeremiah Johnson is on Tubi. I could watch that. The First 48. I could watch that as well. I don't know why I do it. Every week I sit here, say the exact same things. Days in the Christmas outfit. I see dressed Marv from Home Alone, says Corey. Corey, shout out to you. Days, is there a chance that Jake wins? If there is a chance Jake wins, will he be a real boxer, says Shane. If Jake wins, will he be a real boxer? I think he's a real boxer anyway, to be honest. I mean, he has faced boxers and he's beaten them. They're low level, but he's faced them. And to be honest, when you're a boxer starting out, you tend to face low level boxers. There was a guy at the press conference who read out a list of names, right? It was like, Jake, can you tell me if these names mean anything to you? Harold Johnson, Josh Edgington, Peter Gervey. And he went down this list of names and Jake was like, no, they don't mean anything to me. And he's like, okay, well, I thought you'd be interested to know that this is your 13th fight. In Muhammad Ali's 13th fight, he fought Josh Edgington. In George Foreman's 13th fight, he faced blah, 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 blah. The point I'm making, Jake, is that in these greats' careers, in their 13th fight, they were fighting nobodies. You're stepping in with Anthony Joshua. How does that make you feel? And it's a really good point. I mean, the point is that, you know, a lot of these boxers' careers are padded. You know, they get in there with cans, with nobodies, so that they can get experience and get wins and get used to the ring walks and get a few rounds in their belts and, you know, get tested a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. But, I mean, you know, Jake is not doing that. He's getting in there with, you got to say respect. He's getting in there with Anthony Joshua, who's like one of the top 10 heavyweights in the world right now. And, yeah, I mean, if Jake was to get a victory, yes. Yeah, he'd have to be seen as a real boxer. But I think he can be seen as a real boxer now because I know he's had nonsense fights with like MMA fighters and basketball players, whatever. That was a long time ago, though, that Nate Robinson one. But he's had a couple of fights with boxers with low level. And he went in there with Chavez, wasn't it, that he faced as well? Proper boxer. That he had a win over. Tommy Fury, you can debate, but I don't know. I think you can class him as a boxer. You can class him as a boxer now. But where he is, I mean, is he a top 30 boxer in the cruiserweight division? Is he a top 50? Is he a top 80? Is he a top 100? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where he ranks. But, yeah, I think you can rank him as a legitimate boxer. And if he gets a win over Anthony Joshua, yes, absolutely. Right. Let's go over to this episode, shall we? To be. Right, this is the December 17th episode of Evolve. Let's go. Then, now, forever, together, forever. Together, forever. Together, forever. Right. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's Goal. Are we going to see It's Goal tonight? I hope so. We're starting with him. Team ID against Team PC. I want him to have a talk show, honestly. I think It's Goal having a talk show. No feelings, only facts. Okay, It's Goal, facts. Each team has got 5 competitors. Oh, that needs to be on a shirt. It's Goal. Get it on a shirt. No feelings, just facts. Oh, the 5th entrant is a mystery. That's great. Keanu Carver, Brooks Jensen, Presley Riggins, and Braxton Cole. Yeah, love it. Love that graphic as well. It's Goal, facts. Physical culture, it says on his medals. Where do we watch Evolve? Oh, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi in America Land. Okay, it could be in its goal show. The fact show said, Chris. It's a bit long, this, to be honest. I didn't expect it to go on this long. I'm a Jew like Allah. Daze Cora Jades, at least for the foreseeable, has disassociated from wrestling. She's not had any appearances since July. We know that wrestlers handle their releases differently. With some, it's a real struggle, says Big Time. Yes. I just wish her all the best. I don't wish her any ill will, but yeah, I mean, it's demoralizing, isn't it? It's hard. I mean, if you've been at WWE and she had so many injuries as well. It's kind of hard, isn't it, when you've had like a lot of injuries? I suppose you might start questioning if your body can do it. It's not about if you've got the skills. It's about, have you got the body? Okay, so Kendal Gray coming down to the ring with Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair was joining her. Yeah, there's Kendal. Kendal. Yeah, they've really gone big with Kendal, haven't they? Really gone big. Last few months have been crazy. I love the grind. So, what's she going to say, though? She does pace around a lot. Pressure makes diamonds, and it makes me a champion. Okay. So she basically says, anyone that wants to step up can. Here's Callie. Haven't seen Callie in a few weeks. Not your average girl, it says on her shirt. Okay. Callie said, if I had to choose someone to take the torch from me, it would be you. You've been eating off the table I set. Hello, Shakeem. Hope you're well. How are we watching Tubi? It doesn't show anywhere. I use a VPN. Oh, no, it's... if you've got a VPN, set it to the United States. Then search Tubi on the internet. You'll find it. Okay. Callie wants a run back, but PJ Vasa has got something to say. PJ Vasa could be interesting. Boom. Boo, 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 boo. Just had a little bit of drama. Wow. though. It looks like he's really struggling at the moment. Okay, yeah, no, it says it's back, but it is a bit wobbly. I don't know if there's an issue in the area. This is interesting. This is interesting. Hopefully it holds. Right, hopefully it's back. I tried refreshing and it had a real drama there. I mean, we had a horrible little moment. So I don't quite know where we are with this show because it kicked me out of it. Going to see if I can go 12 minutes in. Boom. I'm going to jump forward 12 minutes. Okay, I've got Charlie Dempsey talking to Timothy Thatcher, so we should hopefully be back. If you let me finish. I'm not about personal glory, says Timothy Thatcher. Okay, so we didn't miss much. We just missed the end of Wendy Choo's promo and then Chantel Monroe responding. Charlie Dempsey says he is the future. We're not competition. We're not on the same path. Okay. Timothy Thatcher has said no. Okay, so Timothy Thatcher's like, I'm not competition. We're not on the same path, but that's not good enough for... that's not good enough for Charlie Dempsey. Right, here we go. Aaron Rourke making his way out. We're going to go over to the gauntlet match. Asib said Sports Illustrated have given their awards out and they gave Promotion of the Year to AEW. I would imagine a lot will, yeah. It's going to be hard to give it to Triple H, isn't it? I like his glasses. They're pretty sick. They seem to be lighting up. Okay, Aaron Rourke is the first person out. Yeah, I don't like that bit. I don't like the fact that the last one standing at the end gets the title match. I sort of feel like you're making it individual when it's not really. This is about ID against Performance Center. This is like we're trying to figure out who's better. Is it the ID talent or the Performance Center talent? And I don't really like the fact you've shoved in a bit of an individual thing in there, an individual prize. Keanu Carver making his way out. This is going to be a real problem for Aaron Rourke. Brilliant way to showcase talent, this, you know. It's very clever. Okay, Keanu Carver has made his way out. Okay, match about to get underway. So Aaron Rourke against Keanu Carver. Okay, and I like the graphic as well. It's showing us the current score. Okay. Aaron Rourke moves out the way. Slaps the backside of Keanu Carver. We can collectively agree NXT has been the best WWE show this year. TV specials, weekly TV, but they don't get much love. Oh, it's gone. It's disappeared. Daze, you lag in from seeing the cricket score. Oh, God, why? What's happened? I know we lost one. Don't tell me we've lost more than one. Oh my God. 42 for 3. Unbelievable. Alls I heard all morning is this is a batter's pitch. It's a batter's pitch. Do you know what? It's a disgrace. It's just a disgrace, isn't it? It's just an absolute disgrace. Aaron Rourke is thrown over into the corner. Keanu Carver coming over. Heads are going to roll. Pope, Duckett, Crawley. Unbelievable. Okay, Keanu Carver driving a knee into Aaron Rourke, and Aaron Rourke is down. Daze, they don't get much love or praise from the IWC because the men's division being weak. But the last time NXT was getting praise from the IWC was 2023, which was a hot period. I don't know, but I mean, all I can tell you is our community have been very consistent in saying NXT has been the best brand. There's a lot of love for Obafemi, a lot of love for Javon Evans. I think a lot of appreciation for Ethan Page. I don't know what we're judging the IWC as. Like, I think there's a lot of appreciation for NXT. Rourke is down at the moment. Keanu Carver getting up to his feet. Daze was or is tonight the last Evolve of 2025. I don't think they've said anything. I mean, about like next week not being on. I'm expecting the one to be next week. I mean, they take them, don't they? They're not live. Kick coming into the midsection there by Aaron Rourke. Another big kick. Screams out at Keanu Carver. Another kick. As right now we got the big man over against the ropes. Aaron Rourke over the other side. 619 by Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke climbing up. Keanu Carver. Oh, look at that. Comes crashing down. And kick out there by the big man. Kick out by the big man as he comes over. Scoops up Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke lands on his feet. Roll up there. I'm struggling to believe Aaron Rourke being this competitive against Keanu Carver. But maybe this is the beginning of the end now as he scoops him up. Drives him down. And I think that's going to be it. 2, 3. Keanu Carver gets the job done. And that's going to be a big problem. That is going to be a big problem. Mike Cunningham has come in. Okay, Cunningham is in, and he looks very like Von Erich to me. He looks like a Texan. He's got a great physique. He's giving very strong cowboy vibe. Right now, Cunningham just getting thrown around by Keanu Carver. Another big right hand coming in there by Carver. Cunningham going over to the corner. Even though Brian Alvarez praises NXT, he admits it's the one show that is the most fun to review because there's always a lot of stuff to talk about that's good and bad, says Big Time. Bang. Down goes Cunningham. And again. Little advert for Elimination Chamber in Chicago. Keanu Carver slamming him down again. I don't know what showcase we're giving to Cunningham here. Kick out. I like this gauntlet, says King Notorious. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it as well. I think they gave Aaron Rourke maybe a little bit too much against Keanu Carver. Don't know if Carver was the right person to come out first because his size, his strength. I don't know that Cunningham. I don't know that Rourke really could do much against him. But I mean, right now he's just murking Mike Cunningham. Mike Cunningham's trying to find a way of getting back into this. Shot coming in. Another big blow coming in there by Cunningham. It's kind of interesting setup as well because, I mean, it's next in line against like indie talent. And that's kind of an interesting battle, to be honest. Kick coming in there by Cunningham. Cunningham going up, is perched. Missile drop kick, that's very good. 1, 2, kick out by the big man. Cunningham getting up to his feet. Going through the ropes. He's looking to climb up. Crossbody gets caught there by the big man. Cunningham. Planted. 1, 2, 3. Cunningham done. Okay, so Keanu Carver just running through this talent. Okay, Super Sean Legacy's coming out. This is where we could get quite good now. Super Sean Legacy is the third person. No, Chewy's saying no. Chewy, what are you doing? You're not cleared? Use Chewy to stop him. Chewy's like, no, you're not cleared. You're not cleared. Super Sean Legacy coming out could have been like really good. I mean, that's a big name. Okay. I want Oba against Keanu, said Bishop. Daze, have you ever been into Fast and Furious movies, said Asib? Not really. I'm not a car person, honestly. I didn't get any interest in cars whatsoever. I was into like football and wrestling but cars just never got me. I don't know why. So my brother loves cars, but I was not that bothered. So Fast and Furious, I think you've really got to be into your cars to care. I think I've seen the first one. I ain't watched none of the others. Okay, who's gonna drop kick? Who's this? Is Holloway's here? Oh, yeah, he's back. I love Holloway. I don't like the little beard that he's got, though. I wouldn't give him that. Holloway, big splash. Sam Holloway is back going for the pin, and he eliminates Carver. Haven't seen Holloway in a bit. Yeah, I love this guy. He's got a big size to him. Look at that. Gets rid of Keanu Carver. That's quite the statement. But here comes Brooks Jensen. Brooks Jensen is here. Why is Brooks Jensen with the Performance Center? Clothesline to the outsides. I don't really, I mean, I know it's Performance Center, but I sort of associate that with Next in Line. Well, Brooks Jensen, anyway, is on the Performance Center team. So Holloway against Brooks Jensen's what we got right now. Shot coming in there by Holloway. Brooks Jensen getting in the team, in the ring. Benny, hello, hope you well. Stomps coming in there by Brooks Jensen, stomping down. Here's Holloway. Oh. Elbow. 1, 2. Oh, kick out by Brooks Jensen. It's not only strength, it's not only size. Apparently Holloway can fly. Scoops him up. Look at that. Look at the strength. He's got Brooks Jensen up. Jensen, no, back down. Shots coming in to the back of the head. To the neck there by Jensen. Holloway, no, reverse. Jensen, back elbow there by Holloway, Brooks Jensen is down. Rolls out the ring. He's going to go big area, I think. Here we go. The big man. Oh, that could have been really fun. Oh, Spinebuster. He seems to be more performative than the last time we saw him, to be honest, Holloway. Screaming and shouting and, like, the facial expressions are a lot more. Last time I saw him, I remember him being a bit more deadpan, but it was a long time ago that we saw him. Right now, Brooks Jensen getting a sort of like headlock on. Holloway getting back up to his feet. I'm not a fan of what Holloway's wearing. He feels a little bit like the Lost Good Brother to me. It's not really the vibe I would go for. Yeah, the commentator's saying they like this matchup. I like this matchup, actually. Shot coming into the midsection, and again, big blow to the back as Jensen drives Holloway into the corner. I think if we lose Keanu Carver to NXT, and we might do in the near future, Holloway can come in and be the monster. Duck underneath. Over the other side, charging over. Big clothesline into Jensen in the corner. Chop coming in there by Holloway. And again, Holloway backing up. Big boot coming in there by Jensen. Big clothesline. Yeah, Jensen won't know what flipping day of the week is. James said, I thought Sammy was watching the Ashes. Well, I don't know why anyone's watching the Ashes considering what England are serving up. Blimey now. Absolutely unbelievable. Clothesline there by Jensen. Dang. Clothesline. Holloway looks better than he did when he debuted, looks-wise, but not wrestling, says Mayor Pete. Boot coming in there by Jensen. Over against the ropes. Oh, driving him down. Wrestling fan says, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are back on AEW. Shoulder up by Brooks Jensen. Holloway grabbing Jensen. Looking for a suplex. No. He had him up, but he got kneed in the head. Knee into the side of the head there by Jensen. Nice. Nice kick. That might put the big man away. And it does. Wow. Sam Holloway eliminated. Brooks Jensen's had a lot taken out of him, though. He's had a lot taken out of him. Cappuccino Jones. Team ID. Cappuccino Jones might be able to capitalize. Against the ropes goes Brooks Jensen. So at the moment, it's 3-1 to the Performance Center. Brooks Jensen trying to go over to the ropes. Misses with that shot. Cappuccino trying to roll up. I'm amazed at the size difference between Brooks Jensen and Cappuccino. Cappuccino is considerably smaller than Brooks Jensen. Kick coming in there by Cappuccino. He's trying to climb up. Trying to take the big man over. Oh. Going for the cover. Here we go. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Brooks Jensen. Shoulder up by Brooks Jensen. Redio, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. And Paul, I will get to your comment as soon as you get to the next commercial break, buds. Cappuccino straight over. Net breaker. Oh, couldn't get it. Brooks holds on to the ropes. Elbow drop there by Brooks. Cappuccino is in there, and I really don't mind this as a match. I've kind of enjoyed it. I think with the the star power of having some of the bigger names involved on like the main roster, this could be really fun. Brooks Jensen against Cappuccino Jones. I think we're going to commercial break. There we go. Okay, so Paul said, what's the status? What's your status on AEW and WWE in 2025? I think that WWE has had a difficult year. I think a lot of people can agree with that. I think that WWE, I can't speak about AEW because I don't watch it, but WWE had a difficult year. There's a few different schools of thought, and we're not going to go through it all again, but I think that they've tried to invest in some young talent. I think they've tried a few stories that didn't work, like John Cena's heel run. I think that they have also just kind of settled things down for a few reasons. I think the road to WrestleMania was hurt by doing a European tour at the same time, which, didn't help. I think the fact they couldn't fit a draft in when they really needed to, and they just couldn't find an opportunity to catch their breath, really. It was just show after show after show after show after show. I don't think that helped. It was very, very busy, very busy summer, shows all the time. So no drafts, European tour just before WrestleMania, John Cena heel run that didn't work. I mean, you kind of put those things together and then add in the fact that we're trying to build up young talent. So they're having to get TV time and they're having to get opportunity. And you kind of, you can see as to why the year was maybe a little bit underwhelming. But to be honest, I mean, the storylines have just not been there either. I mean, I don't want to let creative off the hook. You can still do all of that and deliver compelling TV, but they just didn't have any storylines or good storylines. It's funny, actually, because we just did a whole thing on feuds. So I've seen what people have had to say as to what the best men's feuds are and what the best women's feuds are. And actually, when you see them written down, it's not great. If you look at what people are saying are the best men's feuds this year, I mean, by the time you get past the top 5, you're scraping the barrel. And even top 5, you're kind of scraping the barrel. Same with women's feuds as well. So, yeah, a part of me does wonder, though, if they've just settled things down because of the fact that we've just started new TV deals. And really what we're focused on is where are we going to be in a few years' time. It's not about where we are now. It's where are we in a few years when we've got to renegotiate those deals. Brooks Jensen being handed a chair. Roll up, bridge, one. Cappuccino gets it. Cappuccino gets it. Chop block, though, by Brooks Jensen on Cappuccino. So we had some outside interference. Riggins and Presley brought a chair down. Brooks didn't take that chair. Cappuccino managed to get the pin. This is going to be a problem because Cappuccino is the 4th member. Braxton Cole coming out. Okay, Braxton Cole coming out for PC. Yeah, he's gone straight after that leg of Cappuccino, and he might be able to get Cappuccino out of there pretty quickly. Kicks coming in there by Braxton Cole. Pulling on that leg. Daze, it's interesting. NXT debuted. It was around the time AEW launched, and we learned quickly there was a strong appetite for a third show. Did we like the move from the network? I did and I didn't. I didn't like going from 1 hour to 2 hours. I actually preferred it when it was 1 hour. I thought it was a tighter program. I mean, Black and Gold, people loved it. And for me, when we go onto TV, that's definitely a major change in the history of NXT. So that was something that kind of jumped out to me. And I think, I can't remember when we debuted. It wasn't too long before 2020, was it? It was near the end of the year. So, I mean, we don't really do a great deal until we hit the pandemic. So it's kind of hard to judge. But initially, going to 2 hours and seeing how that worked, I think there was a bit of an adjustment period. I think it works. It seems to work better now. I mean, we found a groove now. But in the early stages, I was not crazy about it. Okay, so Wendy against Chantal. No DQ match has been moved to January 7th. Carmen's livid. Okay, we're still underway with Braxton Cole, Cappuccino, Jones. Because of this match going as long as what it's gone, Choo is like, I'm sorry, we've had to move your match. So there we go. Wednesday, January 7th. No DQ match. Chantal Monroe against Wendy Choo. Right now we've got Cappuccino. He's still hanging in there. I don't know who the final person is going to be, though, for these two teams. Apparently they're a wild card. Could be an exciting NXT talent, of course. Over in the corner goes Cappuccino. Right now, shot coming in there by Cappuccino. And again, another shot coming in. Have I gone to commercial break? I don't feel like I've watched commercials. Has this been commercial free? Cappuccino is up on his feet. Bang! Big shot coming in there by Cappuccino. Oh, lovely work. 1, 2. Yeah, he gets it. Cappuccino gets it. I didn't expect him to get that. Cappuccino gets rid of Braxton Cole. That is a surprise. Oh, it looks like Evolve is going. It returns January 7th. So it looks like it is just having a little break. Okay, who's next? It's got to be a decent name. They're making us wait. It's Cam Hendricks. Don't know him. Cam Hendricks. There's a lot of excitement, though. He's an LFG talent, that's why. Cam Hendricks making his debut. I need to watch LFG. I would be popping right now if I knew who this guy was. He looks good. He looks the part. Okay. That's Maxine's boyfriend, says Johnny. Okay, well, he's here. Let's see what he can do. I'm excited to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Are you going to cover it, says Joe. I am. I'm not convinced he's getting knocked out, though. I think he might find a way of surviving, but... Okay, we have got a WrestleMania advert right now. How long we got left? We've got around about 8 minutes left. SmackDown stream. We'll click over to Jake Paul fight. That is true. Okay, so Cam... Oh, now I go to flipping ad break. There it is. There you are. So now we go over to commercial break. Big Time said, Daze, looking at Rhea main roster run, she's been there 4 years, and I struggle to remember any memorable feuds. For Rhea? Or RMG moments? What about her and Charlotte? That was pretty memorable. She faced Becky as well. Liv. The whole Dominic thing. Right now, we're back to the show. Cam Hendricks in there with Cappuccino Jones. Another stomp coming in. Hendricks is in control. We got Vanity Project in the VIP section watching on. Cappuccino with a clothesline. Cam Hendricks in the corner as Cappuccino goes over. Lands on his feet. Middle of the ring. Grabs a hold of his knee. Cam Hendricks trying to grab the leg and dragon screw. Well, I'm not a fan of the dancing. I'm not a fan of the dancing. I'm not a fan of the gloves, to be honest with you. It's a little bit... getting a bit of, like, MVP vibe. Kick coming in there by Cappuccino. I hope Jake has got good medical, said Hawks fan. Charging over, another big boot there by Cappuccino. Hendricks, into that ring post. Cappuccino, look at that. Net breaker, going for the pin, 2. Kick out. Coming over, looking for nope, grabbing the leg. Ooh. Cam Hendricks rolling through, clothesline. It's very explosive. Picking him up, Cappuccino drives him down, and that should be it. I mean, Cappuccino was pretty cooked anyway. That'll definitely do it. So it's time for the final person to come out. Let's see what the ID talent have got up their sleeve. It's Marcus Mathers. He's good. Marcus Mathers. I'm guessing he'll get the win over Cam Hendricks, and then they'll bring out their final person. Marcus Mathers in there. We're underway. Throws in a big boot. At the moment, it is 4-3. Swinging away. Cam Hendricks shaking the head. He's going to pick up Marcus. He lands on his feet. Bang. He does remind me of, like, the Lost Rascal. I think I've said that before. Going over against the ropes. Big air. Over the top. Bang. Comes crashing down. So, there we go. Mathers getting in there round the back. Elbow coming in. No joy. Duck underneath over the other side. Oh, planted. Planted. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out. Okay, so right now Mathers is struggling. Chop coming in there by Mathers. And again, another shot coming in. Kick to the midsection. Love that shot to the side of the heads. Really good. Mathers goes down. Another big boot coming in there by Hendricks. Daze, you got to watch John Cena on Cody's podcast tomorrow. Am I going to? Yeah. Depends what comes out of it. Depends if it's like essential view. I'd imagine it is. Going for the cover. Mathers, 1, 2. Ooh, shoulder up there by Hendricks. Mathers going to the outsides. Mathers is climbing up. Hendricks charging over. Going up top. Looking for a superplex. Oh, great. Huge. Yeah, that's what this match needed. That looked great. Big suplex. Okay, Chewy is having a word with Chantel. She's upset. Here's Ariana Grace. Here's Nikita. Okay. Thank you. Shot coming in there by Hendricks. Mathers is getting up to his feet. He throws in a chop. Big right hand there by Hendricks. His shots look good. That shot by Hendricks looked good. Kick coming into the midsection. Oh, big right hand as Mathers goes down. Knee coming back. Love that. Bit of Muay Thai. Nice kick. Another big knee. I do like Hendricks for him throwing in his shots and the knees and all of that stuff. That stuff looks good. Charges over as Mathers moves out the way. Goes back to the corner. Big boot coming in. Big kick. Goes up. Look. Stunner. He's round the back there of Hendricks trying to deadlift. German bridging over. 1, 2. Kick out. Mathers is really struggling with Hendricks here. Really struggling. There's still one more person to come out for that team. If Hendricks gets eliminated. If Mathers gets pinned, it's over. Could you imagine if this match like really mattered? It could be good. Top rope. Oh, kick coming in there by Mathers as Hendricks goes down. It hasn't got the crowd. I mean, there isn't much of a crowd. That's hurt him. You can see loads of space where people could be, but if the crowd were like into it and there was some energy, that would help. Hendricks, 1, 2. I feel like the commentators could be doing a little better as well. Like, this could be it. It's going to be a win for the Performance Center. Mathers, no joy. Kick coming in. I feel like we need to ramp up the drama here. Oh, gets caught. Well, that is nice. That actually should finish this match. Oh, and it does! Wow! It should finish the match, and it does finish the match, and it is a win. For the PC, we didn't even get to see the final man. Okay, so the PC are going to control an episode. So, Aaron Rourke, Mike Cunningham, Sam Holloway, Cappuccino Jones, Marcus Mathers defeated by Keanu Carver, Brooks Jensen, Braxton Cole, and Cam Hendricks. Wow, Cam Hendricks actually putting away a fresh Marcus Mathers. I like that move. It's a little bit of like a rock bottom type thing. Cam Hendricks has just earned himself an Evolve Championship match. Blimey now. And the whole team will get to control an episode. And apparently we're not back till January 7th now. Let's have a look and see what you lot thought in regards to that match and match score-wise. I think it's a really interesting match. I think there's a few things that have hurt it. I think the lack of a crowd really hurt it. I think we needed more energy. I think the fact that we did use so many names that we've not seen before. I understand that you can do that for this match. You know, I understand that you can use this as a way of introducing Cam Hendricks. You can use this as a way of getting Mike Cunningham going. You can use this as a way of bringing Sam Holloway back. You can use it as a way of introducing us to Braxton Cole. Like, I understand that you can do that, but it does take away from the match when there's so many people we just haven't really seen before. And there's so many people that were just like, oh, right, okay, it's this guy now. I sort of feel like for this first one, it would have been nice if we'd have built a load of people up and then done a match where we knew everyone and we'd seen everyone and we'd built everyone. Would have been nice to have had a bigger crowd so that we could have had a bit more energy. I think the commentators did a pretty good job, actually, but I think there's moments where you sort of have to remind yourself, actually, if that person wins, the match ends here. Like, if Cam Hendricks gets the pin, this match ends. So every pinfall should carry some extra drama because it could be the one that wins this match. And I think that could be put over a little bit more. Was Marcus Mathers as the surprise big enough? I don't think so. I sort of feel like that fifth and final person should have been an NXT talent. Should have been something like really exciting. And that could have been like just an extra really fun way of kind of, you know, getting some excitement out of the match. The action in the ring was all right, to be honest. The concept, I think, is a decent concept. Yeah, it was well worth watching. It's one of the most interesting things Evolve have done. And they've used it as a way to introduce us to a load of talent. So I'm certainly not down on that. But I think for this first one, I was interested in looking at the match and the concept. So I would have rather we focus on that than also try to use it to introduce talent. But no, definitely an interesting match type one. I hope we see again in the future. Steve said we got a few weeks holiday now. Yeah, I'm not back till January 7th. Yeah. Go Blue Devil said the crowd is usually friends and family. Yeah, I don't know quite know how that works, to be honest. I mean, there's people I see in that crowd that I also see in the NXT crowd that absolutely could just be friends and family. I see them on a regular basis in the NXT crowd. I mean, I don't really know why you don't open the doors up to let anyone in, honestly. Surely it makes sense to just fill that crowd up with people. There does seem to be a lot of space for some more people to get in there, you know. And a little bit more of that energy would have been good, you know, them banging on maybe even just get some performance center people in there that we haven't seen yet, get them to fill it out, put a few in the front row where they can bang on the railings or something like this, you know, get a bit of noise going and just a bit more energy in there. I'm kind of nitpicking, but I think for me, I'm not going to be shocked if this comes out with a good rating rather than a great rating. So it's sort of like, I don't think the match is the problem. I just think the presentation of it was a little bit muted compared to what it could have been. That's the point I was trying to make. I think the Sam guy was a surprise, said Draco. Yeah, he was, but I think he's only appeared once or twice previously in the past 40-odd weeks. So even if you are a pretty avid Evolve viewer, you probably won't have seen him before. And, you know, that Cam Hendricks guy comes out. I haven't seen LFG. So for me, that didn't do anything. So, I mean, I know we've gone down a level. And I know that we are dealing with the Performance Center recruits. I just think for this first one, there was an opportunity just to get some more names in it. But, you know, nitpicks. What we actually got, you know, let's learn from John Cena, shall we? Rather than complaining and crying about what we didn't get, let's focus on what we did get. And, yeah, it's nice to see Sam Holloway back. Mike Cunningham's got a good look. Keanu Carver was presented as a beast. Brooks Jensen brought experience. Big moment for Cam Hendricks. You know, I mean, not only do we get to see him for the first time, but he gets a couple of eliminations, wins the whole match, gets an Evolve Championship match lined up as well. Marcus Mathers, I mean, he didn't really get a chance to do a great deal. He came out last and lost to Cam Hendricks. Aaron Rourke, unfortunate, he had to start us off with Keanu Carver. Braxton Cole, didn't see a great deal out of him. Yeah, I don't know who shone, who stood out. I mean, it feels like Keanu Carver felt dominant, and it feels like Cam Hendricks because he got the win, but I don't know really in ring who shone the brightest. Sam Holloway had some moments. What are we doing until January 7th, said Edwards. Well, next week it's Christmas Eve, so don't have any plans for anything next week. I don't know about the week after. I didn't even know that there was a few weeks off until a few moments ago. DWS said, do we think the women's elimination chamber will be for the tag titles? It seems like that's now a focus. It could be, but that's going to be a long way to get to, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of like Feb. Is it Feb or March? When is Elimination Chamber 2026? It's the 28th of Feb. So you've got to get through final few weeks of December, which will be easy. But then you got to sort of get through 2 months. So, I mean, and we've already been doing a lot of singles matches. So it could be. But if I'm a betting man, I think I would say that it'll probably be what it has been, which is a normal men's one, a normal women's one. And we just use it to find out who the challenger is going to be for the championship the Rumble winner doesn't go for. I see the logic, though. Daze, did you see that Raquel was placed under concussion protocol? Yes. That was nasty, wasn't it? I couldn't believe it. I had absolutely no idea that she had an injury that bad. Yeah, I was really, really shocked. Really shocked. Foxy Light said, I just got back from dinner with the wife. How was the show? Interesting. Yeah, genuinely, I think it was really interesting. I think the gauntlet match is a thumbs up, but I think it's an interesting one because we could do that gauntlet match, you know, many, many times again in the future, and I don't think this first one is going to rank that highly. If we do it 10 times, I feel like this one might be ranked like number 8. You know what I mean? I feel like you can beat what we just had relatively comfortably, relatively easily. So, yeah, I think the concept works, though. I think the concept works. So, yeah, definitely worth a watch. Quite an interesting one, I would say. I have watched the skits tonight, and I've not seen them. Don't know what you mean, Aubrey. William said, Daze, we have a shizzon of gifts to sort. It's our turn to be Santa in the lottery. William, sounds like you're getting ready for Christmas, my friends. Sounds like they're getting ready for Christmas. Mayor Pete said they should put you in the crowd, sitting in the VIP section. Blooming hell. Could you imagine that? Imagine all them people going, who the hell's that? Boo! I wouldn't blame them as well. I would not blame them. I'd probably join in with them. Well, there we go. That was Evolve this week. So really appreciate people joining us and sharing the thoughts. It was something very different this week. And yeah, I'll look forward to the next one of these. See how they tweak it next time. I can tell you that score-wise, we didn't get many feedbacks, but you lot said it was good. Good 100, actually. Some of you going great, some of you going all-time, but good, very much getting the victory. So good 100%. So there we go. That was today's Evolve. We are back tomorrow with a member stream, and of course, we are back tomorrow with Wrestling Escape Pod. Then on Friday we're doing SmackDown as normal, but as soon as SmackDown ends we will switch the stream over to the boxing, and then we're back on Saturday for AAA, and that will be pretty much us done, because on Monday Raw is taped, on Tuesday NXT is taped, then we'll have Christmas, and on Friday I believe that show is taped as well. So it's all tape shows. No Evolve next week. Ugh, next week's going to suck. Next week is going to suck. Apart from the fact it's Christmas and we all get to see our families, and that will actually be lovely. And we all get presents and everything. Apart from that bit, the wrestling side of it is going to suck. So there we go. Thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate it. As always, I'll see you again next time.